Global promotion of Jungkook once again captures the world's attention, but not just because of his achievements, but because of the absence of someone long known to be very close to him, Taehyung. Amidst the thunderous international campaign, the public is left wondering, why is Taehyung, who has always been synonymous with the Jungkook dynamic, seemingly given no space in this major promotion narrative? And more concerning, is this part of a global strategy consciously separating the two for commercial reasons? This issue is not just fandom gossip. Taehyung's absence from Jungkook's major promotional activities is obvious, particularly in official publications, media campaigns, and collaborations with international brands. Although each BTS member does indeed follow their own solo path, ARMY quickly noticed that there's something different about Jungkook's solo promotions this time. Is this purely a professional strategy, or a deliberate maneuver by global agencies that believe Jungkook's solo image will be stronger standing alone, without the emotional shadow long built alongside Taehyung? This situation quickly sparked unrest among fans. Many expressed their surprise across social platforms. Some even questioned the motive behind it. Why does Jungkook's promotion feel so separated from the BTS ecosystem? Is this an exploitation of an individual's image that ignores the emotional narrative built with his fellow members, particularly Taehyung? These questions intensified because throughout BTS's journey as a group, togetherness and personal connection among members have been the main foundations strengthening global fan loyalty. In this context, it's important to note that the global market often has its own parameters. Foreign agencies involved in promoting Korean artists, especially on an international scale, often separate individual narrative from group collectivity to create a brand easier to market outside Asia. Is that what's happening to Jungkook right now? If so, why is Taehyung not included in the campaign, or at least highlighted as the emotional partner long close to him? From the fans' perspective, Taehyung's absence is felt not only as a visual removal, but as a deeper symbol, erasure of the relational dynamic that for years shaped the identity of Jungkook. Longtime fans know the connection between the two is not just a gimmick. They grew up together, showing authentic closeness both on stage and behind the scenes. So, if Jungkook's major promotion now proceeds entirely without Taehyung's trace, isn't it natural to suspect this is part of a carefully designed scenario? What makes this situation even more complex is the silence from both parties. Jungkook gives no explanation about this promotional dynamic, while Taehyung also seems to choose to distance himself from discussion. This silence leaves a wide space for speculation. Could they have been asked not to mention this dynamic publicly? Or might they indeed be taking different paths for their personal goals, without any intentional conflict? But behind all these questions lies an undeniable truth. The Jungkook narrative has been a core part of the emotional bond between BTS and ARMY. When that narrative is suddenly cut off without clear explanation, what's questioned is not just the relationship between two individuals, but also the transparency of the entertainment industry itself. Are we only given the pieces beneficial to the market, while the rest is hidden to maintain the illusion of professionalism? In today's digital climate, public opinion can be easily manipulated through visual framing, selective narratives, and information control. Therefore, the public must remain skeptical and not be swayed by a scenario that looks seamless on the surface. Are we witnessing a natural solo artist's journey, or are we seeing a relational narrative systematically dismantled to create a single marketable image internationally? So we invite viewers and readers to reflect. Is Jungkook's solo promotion strategy truly a professional choice, or is someone quietly directing this project away from the emotional dynamic of Jungkook? Is Taehyung's absence a cold business strategy, or rather an expression of the members' personal will? Most importantly, are we, the public, being positioned as objects of a narrative fully controlled by the industry, without ever truly knowing what really happens behind the scenes? The information we present here is sourced from in-depth observation of social media content, TikTok and YouTube trends, and long fan discussions. Yet the truth still cannot be verified absolutely. Therefore, we invite you to continue thinking critically, not be provoked by a single narrative, and always question the motives behind every piece of information presented to the public. Do you believe this is just a coincidence? Or is this the start of a new phase of a global strategy that gives no room for the personal dynamic long loved by ARMY worldwide? But amid the bustle of Jungkook's promotions, there's one question that cannot be ignored. Is all this a pure expression of solo career development? Or is there a constructed narrative deliberately created to distance Jungkook from Taehyung? Furthermore, has the emotional relationship between these two BTS members been deliberately muted to create a cleaner, more globally acceptable image? If so, then we are witnessing a much more complex phenomenon than mere music promotion. We are in the midst of a strategic engineering that may not only influence public perception of the artist, but also affect how the public interprets friendship, loyalty, and identity in modern entertainment. And most ironically, all of this is packaged so neatly, almost with no openings for public questioning. Now the question changes. Is it really Jungkook's personal decision to pursue his solo path fully separated from the V-kook dynamic? Or is this a direction conditioned by parties larger than the artist, like management, international agencies, or even the global music industry ecosystem? We need to note communication patterns that subtly emerge yet remain consistent. The absence of public interaction between Jungkook and Taehyung during the crucial global promotion period, the lack of explicit support by Taehyung on social media, and the absence of collaborative narrative in official content all form a portrait that cannot be dismissed as mere coincidence. So have we become too immersed in reading symbols and small signals, or are all these indeed indirect communications of a larger strategy? Here the public must truly activate its critical capacity. We cannot continue to be passive consumers of information constantly served by the media. We must begin to question how narratives are shaped, who benefits, and who is sacrificed. Is the shock we feel a spontaneous reaction to a real situation, or part of a marketing strategy designed to create deep emotional resonance? It's undeniable that global fandoms like ARMY have tremendous influence. So every move, change, and even silence from BTS members will always be subject to mass interpretation. But within this interpretive space lies the greatest risk. We can easily fall into baseless assumptions, exaggerated narratives, or even conspiracy theories driven by the need for drama and emotion. We invite you, as viewers, readers, and part of the global community, to pause for a moment and reflect. Do you truly believe that Jungkook's promotion without Taehyung is an entirely organic decision? Or could this be part of a deeper construction, where personal roles and relationships are sacrificed for global image interests? Are we witnessing healthy, natural career development, or the simplification of an artist's identity for easier international consumption? A reflective attitude becomes increasingly important when we realize that almost all information we consume today originates from algorithm-controlled platforms. What appears on our feed, what trends, and what goes viral is often not the most substantively important thing, but rather the most effective at drawing attention. So it's reasonable to doubt whether Taehyung's absence in Jungkook's promotion is truly significant, or is exaggerated by digital information distribution structures. Yet at the same time, we mustn't dismiss the collective intuition emerging from ARMY. When millions of fans worldwide feel something is different, something unusual, it's not just coincidence. The feeling of loss toward V-kook's presence isn't just about a missing visual moment or stage interaction. It's about the erasure of the emotional dimension that has been the foundation of connection between BTS and their fans. We also emphasize that the information presented in this article is crafted based on observations of social media dynamics, public comments, reactions across platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter, and fan discussions that continue to evolve. Yet again, the validity of all these speculations still needs factual verification. No party can claim absolute certainty about what's happening behind the entertainment industry scenes. Therefore, it is crucial for all of us to maintain healthy skepticism and sharp reflectiveness. Don't be too quick to believe, but also don't reject outright. Let every piece of information spark discussion, not be taken as absolute truth. Question who constructs the narrative, for whom it's intended, and how it might shape our understanding of reality. Now we return this question to all of you. Is Jungkook's global promotion without Taehyung an intentionally crafted strategy? Does this reflect the industry's increasingly individualistic and fragmented direction? Or are we actually trapped in a perception game played by media forces? Voice your opinion.